People must go see Inconceivable because it's, first of all, funny. It's a great night out and it's an unexpected laugh. It's a topic that people will probably think won't be funny, won't be entertaining, but it really is. And they'll be surprised to see how much they connect with the story. Hello, my name is Meirav Zur, and I welcome you to come see Inconceivable, the infertility comedy show at the Hudson Theatre, playing from October 10th to December. There are a few chances to see this show, and you should definitely come and have a great time to see this funny show. And if you want to learn more about Inconceivable, the totally true one-woman semi-fertile Quasi musical, then you can check out this following information and come see it at the Hudson. I fell in love with theater early on in childhood when I got involved with a school play, and it was just something that immediately I felt comfortable with. I felt this is my space. These are my people. And yeah, that was my happy place. I was creating my own productions, even as a child, but professionally, I started out as an actor, and I quickly realized that I did not want to wait for opportunities and be dependent on a lot of other people for opportunities. And I'm a creative person, so I figured why not try to do this myself? And that's how I started, kind of out of necessity. But also it was an opportunity for me to really, push all of my skill sets and put them to use. The theater experience is so important. And I feel like people that are not into theater are not willing to see it, but everyone should experience it at least once, because there's a certain kind of magic happening in the theater that it won't help what I say right now. It's inexplicable. It has to be experienced. There's something going on in a shared experience with a story being told with words and music and sound and lights and and all the visuals, costumes and set and everything, while a bunch of other people are experiencing this story as well, next to each other in the same space at the same time, feeling the feelings that it evokes or memories that it sparks. There's something going on with this collective experience that's unlike anything else, and it's not replicable either. Like, you can't replicate it to the next night or the next show. So it's very, very unique and very special. The process for creating a play as a playwright would probably be first an idea. If I have an idea for something, some sort of concept, story, whatever it is. And then if I sit with it for a while and I feel that there's something to explore there, that's what my process, that's how it starts. I start kind of, researching it and digging in and thinking about it and from all aspects and developing it from there. The story for Inconceivable came from my own experiences, but it did not become a show by intention. I initially was doing all these, I was doing everything professionally, writing and performing and producing a bunch of different storylines and projects and productions. But personally, I was experiencing infertility for many years, and I was not talking about it with anyone because no one really around me was talking about it. So I thought I was the only one going through it, and I made my husband stay silent about it. We just kind of kept to ourselves. And then this was going on for many years, but a few years ago, I finally felt like I could share and talk about it, but I didn't know how. And so I kind of thought, okay, wait a minute, theater, comedy, I could do that. That's a language I can speak. And so I really just gathered some friends together and told them what I had been experiencing the last few years, but I didn't tell them like I'm talking right now. I told them through, funny jokes and silly songs and weird props and odd characters. And, that's what it was. I thought it was just, my one-time thing to be able to tell them. And then afterwards, it really started, it sparked a conversation. And that really got me interested because I said, wait a minute, we're a group of women that supposedly know each other, but we don't really know all these things. And we're all suddenly talking about all these things that we didn't really know about. There must be many others. Why? Why are we now talking about this thing? And it really got me asking and thinking. And my friends really urged me to make this one of my shows. And I didn't think anyone would even relate to it, but that's how it started. And that was my need, because I saw that it sparked something. It sparked, questions and stories and people feeling, seen. And that's how that started. So basically it's my true story. Inconceivable is my true experiences of infertility and secondary infertility throughout many, many years. But I tell it through different kinds of mediums. So there are some parts where I'm improvising, and there's some parts where it's semi-musical, and there's some parts with props and characters. So it's lots of different, the people I met along the way and things that influenced how I was, experiencing things, and of course the experiences themselves. So that's the basic concept of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of saying what I experienced, but I'm focusing on the surreal and absurd parts of it that make it funny. I think what I would like most for the audiences to get out of my play is just to understand, first of all, to understand that every single person has their own story and issues and fears and dreams and whatnot. And every single person is an entire world. So perhaps we could be a little bit more tolerant of each other, a little bit more understanding, and, kind of be a little bit more accepting of one another. I'm looking forward to that shared experiences. When I'm performing this live, that's that those shared experiences, that theater magic, that's what I love. And when it starts right at the beginning, that's when that's what, I do everything else around to get to. It's that experience of, saying something and having that reaction with the audience. It's kind of this conversation in a way. And it's this communication connection that I love that. More voices in all communities need to be heard more in the theater world, because that is the way that our world learns and grows and progresses. I think theater is the wonderful medium that, it's a platform for a different types of ways to reflect what's going on in the world, because the theater is so much like the real world, and the real world is so much like the theater. And I think that it's a great medium to tell stories and kind of let people, have that mirror and have that space where they can learn about themselves in a different perspective about something that they didn't really think about. It's really a place for, and I think that's where the source of entertainment comes from. It's where people are connecting with something. People must go see Inconceivable because it's, first of all, funny. It's a great night out, and it's an unexpected laugh. It's a topic that people will probably think won't be funny, won't be entertaining, but it really is, and they'll be surprised to see how much they connect with the story. It's so important for people to support local theater, because local theater, any kind of, small theatrical production cannot be produced without essentially having an audience. An audience is part of the story. So the story existing as itself will just be a vacuum. And if there's no support for it, if people don't go to the theater, it's a ripple effect. There won't be more theater created, and then people won't know new things or experience new things or be enlightened or entertained or laugh or connect or meet people. It's a whole cycle. It's a very important ecosystem, if you will, and it's very important to keep that going, to have creativity keep going, to have stories keep being told. I want to make sure that people realize that, specifically with this topic of infertility, statistically speaking, every single person listening to this right now it has experienced or knows somebody that is or has experienced infertility or might be experiencing it in the near future. That's just how things are. And I think it's important for people to understand what it is, what does it actually mean, and not just the bullet points and buzzwords. What does that actually mean on a day by day, hour by hour? What does it mean? And to kind of understand each other and understand where we come from, what other people are going through, and to be, more compassionate. Hello, my name is Meirav Zur, and I welcome you to come see Inconceivable, the infertility comedy show at the Hudson Theatre, playing from October 10th to December. There are a few chances to see this show, and you should definitely come and have a great time to see this funny show.